guys, Americans are raising alarm over what is happening in Nigeria. Like this guy is saying that the plan is to capture Nigeria. Once Nigeria falls for Islamization, that Africa is definitely going to fall. Now, this is today's headline where a witness confessed that Fulani chiefs organized the Yelwata massacre where about 200 people were killed in Yelwata. I'm going to read this headline. This is coming from Punch. This is today's headline. Over 200 men wielding AK-47 stormed Yelwata, police witness. Now, I'm going to read a section of this article. It says, a prosecution witness on Thursday told the Federal High Court in Abuja that some disgruntled Fulani chiefs sponsored over 200 armed men wielding AK-47 rifles to carry out the June 13, 2025 attack on Yelwata in Goma, local government area of Benue State, guys. Fulani chiefs. You see, Fulani chiefs gave the order for people to be massacred in their sleep. Hey, God. The attack allegedly left more than 200 people dead and properties worth millions of naira destroyed. The witness, Moses Paul, a team leader with the intelligence response team of the Nigerian police force, testified in the trial of 9 suspects charged in connection with the attack in Benue State, guys. The 9 suspects accused of involvement in the deadly Yelwata attack pleaded not guilty on Monday, February 3rd, 2026, to 57 amended charges bordering on terrorism before the Federal High Court. Guys, this is what is happening in Nigeria. That Fulani chiefs were the ones that ordered. Now, this headline from Twitter Space also carried it saying, breaking, Fulani chiefs allegedly funded Yelwata massacre that killed over 200. Witness testifies in court. A prosecution witness in the trial of 9 suspects over the June 13, 2025 attack on Yelwata in Goma, local government area, Benue State, has made shocking allegations in court. Moses Paul, a team leader with the intelligence response team of the Nigerian force, testified that more than 200 armed men carrying AK-47 rifles carried out the assault, allegedly at the behest of some Fulani chiefs. The Fulani chiefs are the ones that ordered the massacre, guys. You can imagine what is happening. Now, I'm going to allow you to take a look at what the warning this American is sounding to Nigerians. That the plans of these people is to take over Nigeria. Once Nigeria falls for Islam, guess what? Other countries in Africa are definitely going to fall, guys. These Fulanis are coming from other countries, ordering the massacre of Nigerians. And guess what? The Nigerian government is not doing anything. Tinubu is just sleeping on all this. Anyway, let me allow you to take a look at this video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
The continent of Africa is about to fall to Islam. This should be headline news in the Christian world, and yet so many people don't realize what's happening. If you've watched the Land of the Martyrs documentary, you've seen radical Islam is pushing from the north to the south. I've been so moved by your comments. You've been so encouraging. If you haven't watched the Land of the Martyrs documentary, comment the word Nigeria or click the link in my bio and watch this documentary. And what you will learn is that this is so much deeper than just rebuilding villages and rebuilding churches. This is a war. They are taking territory. Radical Islam is coming from the north to the south, and they're taking Nigeria. Why? Because Nigeria is the cultural epicenter of Africa. And if you take Nigeria, you take Africa for radical Islam. It's the most populous country, and it's divided Christian and Muslim. And if we don't take a stand, if we don't send believers back into their villages, they are courageous enough. Are we willing to help them rebuild these churches, help them rebuild these villages? Our goal is 100 churches rebuilt.
Under Islamic law, on a regular basis, people are killed, beheaded, slaughtered, hung for leaving Islam and converting to Christianity. So this is not just Islamic extremism. This is the Islamic ideology. The Islamic ideology is violent. The Islamic ideology supports and promotes the death of people that leave Islam, and that is the ideology. So this is not just radical Islam. This is Islam. The London bombings, the underground tube bombings, yeah? Lee Rigby, stabbed to death by an Islamic extremist. The Manchester Arena bombing, where an Islamic extremist, okay, bombed the arena in Manchester, killing 22 kids. We have continual violence that is done in the name of Islam.
Okay, you see, there was an attack yesterday in Ondo State. Yes, the same Ondo State, where a monarch was hacked to death last week in Akure North local government. Another attack has been carried out by the Fulani terrorists. They refer to them as bandits. Look, let's call them what they are. They are Fulani Islamic terrorists. They attacked our local government, a particular community in our local government called Usu. They invaded the Celestial Church and abducted about 7 or 9 persons. And they injured so many persons. You see, when I made a video about this thing on Sunday, I think 22nd of this month, I said some things in that video that how could a monarch be dragged out of his palace and murdered because he refused to be kidnapped? And nothing was said about it. Everything seems normal. There was no emergency meeting by the group, the association of monarchs. Now, in less than 7 days, another attack has been carried out again in the same Ondo state. So, in that video, I said some things. Listen to it. So, a monarch from the southwest Nigeria, Ondo state, Akure specifically, was gruesomely murdered by bandits, according to Punch. To me, I don't call them bandits, I call them radical Islamic extremists. They are the people doing all of this thing, and they are coming from the north. They are not emanating from the southwest here, or from the southeast, or from the south. They are coming from the north. And I've been waiting to see if the association, whether it is group of Obas in the southwest, to hold emergency meeting over the heinous killing of one of them. But unfortunately, all of them turned deaf ears, as if they are deaf and dumb. They are not doing anything about it. Nothing is being done about it. So in that video, I said some things. I would like to build upon what I said before. I will drop the link of the video in the comment section. You see, if you think it does not affect you or it will not get to you, it's already at your doorstep. Let me tell you something. Yoruba is witnessing gradual step-by-step conquest of their land under the disguise or the proposition of emirate and Sharia law. Oyo state is being attacked as we speak. Ekiti state is being attacked as we speak. The same thing, Kwara state is being attacked as we speak. Now Ondo state. So they are already here. So if you think it will not get to you, it will get to you. It's just a matter of time. It's an adage in Yoruba that says, sky is falling, the sky is falling. It is not a matter of one person. Everybody will feel it. Everybody will suffer it. So if you don't take proactive measures now and quickly do something about this, you will suffer it. They are already here. You may think that the reason for doing this is because there is insecurity in the country. It's not a matter. It is not a matter of insecurity. It is an agenda. You don't get it. It is an agenda to subdue you under the proposition of Sharia, under this proposition and dominance of Emirates. So if you think it's not about insecurity, no. Even federal government cannot save you. Have you heard the news that federal government paid 2 billion naira to terrorists just to secure the St. Mary's students that were kidnapped? They paid ransom of about 2 billion naira. And what do you think they use this ransom for? They use this ransom to fortify themselves, to further launch attack on your community. So once they come for you, they are not coming to actually kill you unless if you insist. They are coming to kidnap you, because when they kidnap you, you will pay ransom. Maybe if they kidnap the DG of Akure now, he's going to pay ransom. If they kidnap on your Fife or your of you, I laugh you for you. Somebody have already said it that that person said that under this Tinubu administration, Oyo or Ife might be their next target. I'm talking about their monarch now. So they use this ransom to fortify themselves, to get more ammunitions. So when they are coming from the north, they come with that intention that yes, we are coming to kidnap. And when they kidnap, we will get ransom. And that is what we will use to establish our settlements and our dominance. You don't get it. So your being silent at this point in time connotes your doom. So if the leaders, the security operative of the Southwest cannot stand up to this and do something about it, you are being conquered. So if I may give an advice or propose security measures, number one is this. We must make sure that all these trailers that are coming from the far north, some of them come with livestock, they come with animals, some of them come with foodstuff. They need to stop them for checking. Our security operative must check these people. This is how they invade your community. They don't trek all the way from the north. They come by this system. Sometimes you want to check them, they will not allow you to check them because of what they carry. Sometimes they will have to place call across to one big person in our military that will prevent the security operative from searching them. So if you can, search these trailers, it will reduce this thing, or maybe send some of them back to where they are coming from. Number two is this. Every community must organize a local vigilante. So if you are being attacked, at least one or two persons from those attackers can be taken down and conduct investigation of them, rather than to be attacked and nothing is being done about it. So let us organize local vigilantes or local securities.
So kidnappers are now demanding for fresh virgins. Whose daughter do you people plan to deliver to them? Since you people like negotiating with terrorists and kidnappers. what is happening now is there are some kidnappers in Ekiti State, I think Anjoni or something like that. They kidnapped someone, they raped the person to death, okay? The person died. The family now come they talk, say, okay, make them release the corpse of the person where they raped to death. They say for them to release the corpse of the person where they don't rape, say they go need to pay money, ransom. Okay, they agreed to deliver money to the kidnappers, Igbos, and drinks, beers, and everything. As they reach there to deliver them, that is about 4 men. As they reach there to deliver them, the kidnappers now kidnap the 4 men now. Come tell them, say, for them to release the 4 men, no, they will need to go and bring virgins, female virgins for them, before they can release the 4 men that came to drop the money to collect the corpse of the person where they don't already grip. Una don't mad for this country. Una don't actually mad for this country. I'm telling you.
Mr. Kunde, instead of commending and praising the work that is done in your state, you spit. You intentionally lie about the work that has been done in order to discredit what we've done.
You are talking of 36 houses. The best of my knowledge, the last time I was there, he raised 18, uncompleted 18 houses that he had.
You know that it's been more than 18 homes. If you've been to Yelwata, you know that the work has been ongoing for months. And at this point, dozens and dozens of homes have been completed. But then you want to tell the news and you want to lie and try to discredit. And say that, oh, last time I was there, only 18 homes. Well, you must have not been to Yelwata in months because today is 41. The very work that you yourself refused to do. For 6 months, the government had the funds to do rebuilding, to be able to help the people. And it wasn't done. You sat on the money that was supposed to go to the ones who lost their families, who were massacred in the night, who now have no home. And you chose to do nothing. And we do what you guys refuse to do. And your choice is not to uplift and to praise, but to spit on what we have done.
I don't know who gave him 300 billion projects to build market. It's laughable. We don't have such. If you have any 300 billion project that the ministry write to him or whatever, he should come.
Mr. Kunde, you say that you have no clue who talked about a 300 million market. Yet it was your own words. Tell the truth. I have the messages. They're right here. You sent the video. You told me the figures of what this market that was proposed will cost. And I rejected it and I said no. I said from the very beginning when I came to SEMA, when I came to the Benue government, I'm here to rebuild Yelwata, the homes and the market. And the response was the government has a plan. Please, we will do the market. You can do the homes, we will do the market. You rejected my intervention because of your plans. And your plans, based on the messages, was a 300 million market in which no village in Nigeria has. Not one village has this market. And so I ask you, why are you proposing such a monstrously expensive village? Which we can't even find this in Nigeria. The people just want to go home. They just want to survive. They just want to live in peace. They will take anything, even if it's 500,000 naira, whatever it is, to be able to help them. And instead of using what you have to go and help immediately, to run into the fire to help your own people, you are going to sit back and then do nothing because of your 300 million market. I ask you, Mr. Kunde, today, have you built the market? Where are the funds for the market? Where are the funds that have been donated for Yelwata? Where are they?
We rejected the plan of thatch houses for the returnees.
There was no plan for thatch houses. If you go to Yelwata today, you see cement and brick. Not once was it proposed that we will build thatch houses. If we were going to propose to build thatch houses, we would allow them to do this themselves. They lived in mud and grass. Today, they live in cement.
If we want to settle people, we'll tell them this is the way we want to settle. That's why the government of Benue State also have a resettlement plan. But we cannot return people the same way they were.
You say that you can't return people the same way that they were. I ask you, which people have you returned to their land in Benue? Which ones? Which families? Which homes have you built? Which people have you allowed to go back to their ancestral lands? Which ones? The only reason that I'm even working in Benue and in Nigeria as a whole is because the government is not doing it. You have millions of people around Nigeria who have had their villages burned, their farms have been stolen, they've been forcibly removed from their land. And you guys are allowing this, and you're not helping them. No village has the government built. And so we have to come to be able to do this because as a Christian, we cannot stand by in silence as people are massacred, as Christians are slaughtered, as Muslims are burned. We stand for truth, we stand for justice, we stand for what is right. And it is our duty to do this. And we come because you are not doing it. Our call is to stop the killing. Allow people to go home, protect their families. Allow them to go and live in peace, to farm, to practice Christianity. If they want to practice Islam, let them practice Islam. But let them do it without the fear that in the night their children are going to be burned alive. And use the money that has been donated. Use government funds to be able to help the people that are suffering in your own country. The Tiv, the Hausa, the Irigwe, the people whose blood is being poured out, the people who are afflicted. When will you help? When will you do the right thing?
Islamophobe. Yeah, Islamophobe. That's not how it works. There's no such thing as Islamophobe when you know Islam, when you're born in an Islamic country. Like me, like Iranians, like Egyptians, like Syrians, like Lebanese people. When you know Islam and you saw what Islam is doing, when you see the scripture, when you know Hadith, when you know Quran, when you know the Muftis and Imams, when you know Sunnis, when you know Shias, there's no such thing as Islamophobia. We have Islamo-trauma. We are Islamo-traumatized. Yeah, I'm traumatized by Islam because I saw the Muslims killing people, raping women, kidnapping people, and doing all of these using ayahs and surahs of Quran. I saw Sunnis doing all this using hadith too. How do you want to label people as Islamophobe when we know actually what Muslims are capable of doing? All the Muslims are running away from their own countries and coming to the West. Why? If Islam is so good, if Islamic countries are amazing, why don't you stay in an Islamic country? Why do you see mass migration from Islamic countries to Western Christian countries? Why? Explain it right now. You can't even say, be like, but the verses and the ayahs in this surah and that surah, it was just for that time. It was just for that one war that Muhammad was fighting. You can't even do that because that means the word of your Allah, the word of your God is not binding, is not eternal. Is the word of Allah binding? Then what Allah said in Surah 9, verse 29, Surah 9, remember, is a very aggressive surah. It's a very aggressive chapter. This chapter is called Al-Tawbah, right? That means the surah of repentance. Tawbah means repentance. Verse 29 of that surah is ordering Muslims to fight people who don't believe in Allah and the last day and Muhammad, and to subjugate them and impose jizya, impose a tax on them. This is how they took all the land in the Middle East. That land in the Middle East, all those countries do not belong to Muslims. Let's keep it real. Iran is not an Islamic country. Syria was not an Islamic country. Iraq was not an Islamic country. Lebanon was not an Islamic country. And definitely Israel, Judea, Samaria was not an Islamic country. Y'all stole all that land from the people. Egypt was not an Islamic country. Egypt was a Christian country. Coptic Christians is famous. The story of Coptic Christians in Egypt is really famous. When Muslims attacked, they killed the people, they kidnapped the kids, they raised them as Mamluks. Mamluk is a kid that's castrated. Slave kids. That's what they do. This is in Islam, this is in Hadith, this is in Quran. And they're gonna be like, but Surah 2 verse 256 said there is no compulsion in religion. That was before Muhammad took over Mecca. All those peaceful verses and peaceful surahs were abrogated by future verses. Yes, there are peaceful verses in Quran too. Yes, there are. All those verses, all those surahs are abrogated by future wartime surahs and verses. What you want to do about that? Nothing. You can't even come up with an explanation anymore. All you need to do is leave certain things in Islam, a lot of parts of Islam, in the past, because it's aggressive. It's against human rights. You have slavery in Quran. How do you want to justify slavery in Quran? Explain it. Let people see. Come on. Who's your best mufti? Who's your best imam? Bring them on. Let me debate you on live. Let's show the people. I want thousands of people in front of us. I'm not going to use any aggressive books or any aggressive sources against you. I'm going to use Quran and I'm going to use Hadith. Let's fucking run it.
It's only in Nigeria a man wants to kill you to lead you. I say I don't want your leadership. You say you must want it. In Nigeria political space, leadership is by force. Don't lead me. I must lead you. Don't be my leader, I must be your leader. Okay, let me select my leader. No, I will snatch your ballot box. The 2 elections in Nigeria has proven only one thing. PVC is useless. This thing we are calling democracy in Nigeria, we should return it. Democracy is government of the people. You can express your way. This type of democracy, let's return it. The one we collected is duplicate. What we have is agberocracy. Government of the agbero, by the agbero, for the agbero. You stand to snatch ballot box and they shoot you. And the man you are snatching for, his child is abroad. The consolation I have is that anything that is not built on a right platform can't stand. Don't copy Nigerian politicians. What they have taught you is that honesty doesn't pay. Don't copy them. Free and fair life does not yield result. Following due process has no reward. Everything you achieve in life is through violence. Being a trickster is being smart. Don't copy them. Don't copy the average Nigerian politician who make you feel that honesty doesn't pay. Who make you believe that you can struggle to get a PVC. Stay on the queue, under the rain, under the heat, right before your eyes. They snatch ballot box, kill people, harass you, and then at the end declare themselves winner. Don't copy them. That is a cursed life. Don't copy an average politician in Nigeria who carries people's children, imports them as mercenaries to waste people, kill people. Don't copy the average Nigerian politician who has now become a tribal bigot. Tribalism everywhere. Who is trying to divide Nigeria and saying Igbos are not Yoruba, Yorubas are not Igbo, forgetting that we are from one nation under God. Whether you are Igbo, whether you are Hausa, whether you are Yoruba, whether you are Efik, it doesn't matter. You are a Nigerian. There is no Yoruba passport. There's no Igbo passport. There's no Edo passport. There's no South passport. What we have is a Nigerian passport. You can stay anywhere, you can live anywhere, you can survive anywhere. There is no tax for the East or tax for the West. We are all taxpayers. So long you are a taxpayer, you are entitled to stay anywhere. As a young person, I know for the past 1 month, what you have learned, you are shattered. Your hope is shattered. With all the first time the youth decided to struggle for something, and they took it from them. The youth should not give up. What you have learned is how not to copy old men. What you have learned is how illegal wealth is gotten. Hear me, Proverbs 20:21, an inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end shall not be blessed. Power you stole, you will lose. Barefaced, carrying boxes, jumping on bike, broad daylight thieving, conscience dead, reasoning dead. A time is going to come in this country where we will have free and fair. We'll be alive to witness it.
All these are our wicked politicians. They are 100 steps ahead of we Nigerians. They are very wicked. See the kind of logic when Akpabio pass the judgment in a way that they will still do mago in 2027 election. You see the way Akpabio pass the bill. Now he don't approve electronic transmission of results from polling unit / manual process. That is to say, anywhere where they tell us, say network not work, network not reach, they go use manual for them. And at those places where they use manual, now there they want to do the bad thing where they always do. Those places where they go tell us, say network not work, where they want to do manual results. So now there they go do their manipulation. Now there they go add numbers, join numbers to make sure say they still do their guru for 2027 election. What I hear from him now, I hear when they talk now.
Sometimes you don't see any polling agent, provided that if the electronic transmission of the result fails, if it fails as a result of communication failure, in other words, maybe network or otherwise, and it becomes impossible to transmit the result electronically in Form EC8A, signed and stamped by the presiding officer and or countersigned candidates or polling agents where available at the polling units. The Form EC8A shall in such a case be the primary source of collation and declaration of results. So distinguished colleagues, if anybody has a counter motion, you move it later. But in the meantime, those in support of the motion as enunciated by Senator Mongunu and seconded by Senator Bamoro say aye. And those again say nay. The eyes have it.
Una really be political criminals. Una, you see this Akpabio and some of the wicked colleagues, una really be political criminals. Why you not approve and say, make the transfer result electronically, then anywhere there is no network, anywhere network disturbs, that anybody around there that have a strong Wi-Fi or strong network provider should share hotspots or should share network with the people that are handling the beavers, that the election must be transferred. Why don't you use that word must? It must be transferred electronically to RF. Why you not use that word? Then you are not telling us that you will allow it to, that they will transfer result electronically. But meanwhile, anywhere the network did not work, where there is glitch, they should do it manually. Oh God, just tell us say 2027 a manual and I want do. Because unago, we know una go surely concern network not work for anywhere. They not kill una. Una go surely talk say network not work for anywhere. Not be una again. Beavers wanna approve billions of naira to take supply to Nigerians when they do an election. Now they tell us say maybe network not good day for the election. In the first place, they supposed even jail all of una where approve that beavers in a working country, in a country where they will jail all of you for even approving billions to supply what cannot accept network during the time of need. Una wicked. When you use billions, they do. That is supposed to come with your own network self. Where I say, even if you dey inside hole, even if you dey inside web, inside borrow pit, network will enter. Shit. With the billions of naira, when una take do that beavers, that beaver supposed to come with your own network self. Network supposed to work everywhere. Where network not even there for Nigeria in the first place, if not be wickedness, the world owner. Where network not there? You got village where network not there. You got community where network not there. Not be network when I tell they go they register people for voters card. When they feel register people for voters card with network. But if they can't vote to transfer result electronically to RF, network no can't they. Pia! I pour you spit in gay voice. For I'm leaving this country.
With Christianity comes peace. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
What about the Crusades?
the question was, and if you interrupt the answer, you'll find that you don't get to ask another question. The question was, am I saying that with Christianity comes peace? No, I'm not. I'm saying with Christ comes peace. But then the question was, what about the Crusades? So let me answer that directly.
Answer it.
The Crusades were launched after 7 centuries of constant Islamic aggression. Before the very first crusade was launched in 1095, Muslims had invaded the following Christian lands. They had invaded Christian Syria, Christian Jordan, Christian Palestine, Christian Egypt, Christian Algeria, Christian Libya, Christian Morocco, Christian Portugal, Christian Spain, Christian France, Christian Sicily, Christian Turkey, Christian Armenia, Christian Italy, all before the first crusade. The Crusades are a legitimate response to Islamic aggression and Islamic violence. I don't need to hear any lectures about the Crusades from people who support Islamic colonialism, Islamic imperialism, Islamic dominion and Arabization. Any other questions about any aspect of Christian history, Christian belief, Christian values, traditions? This is your opportunity. Any questions? Go on.
So you spoke about the Crusades.
Yep.
Is it the same situation with the slave trade? Because they use Christianity to convert Africans and then bring them along in ships to the Americas.
Okay.
What did Islam have to do with that?
So he asked the question, what does Islam have to do with the slave trade?
Okay. No.
Yeah, I'm going to address your full question. Let's be clear. Before the European slave trade of the 1600s, 1700s and 1800s that happened In West Africa, the Islamic slave trade had existed in the Muslim world for nearly 14 centuries prior. For nearly, ladies and gentlemen, for nearly 11 centuries, Muslims had taken slaves across Africa, across Europe, and had taken them into the Muslim world. And all through the time that Europeans practiced slavery, for the full 300 years of the European slave trade, Muslims continued to practice their own slave trade. They continued to kidnap people from Europe. They continued to kidnap people from Indonesia, people from India, people from Afghanistan, people from Africa, and take them into the Islamic slave markets to trade them as slaves. They did this because Muhammad was a slave trader who bought slaves and sold slaves. Christians, however, have ended the slave trade multiple times at different parts of history, at different geographies around the world for the last 2,000 years. The most recent example was when William Wilberforce and the anti-slave traders convinced the British Empire, using Christian arguments, to end the British slave trade. The British Royal Navy then sacrificed blood and resources to end the slave trade around the world, including inside the Islamic world. Ladies and gentlemen, now notice, the Muslim that asked the question didn't even bother to listen to the answer, because that's how they do it. They're not interested in what you've got to say. All that they want to do is try and make a polemical point, and then they're not interested in anything you have to say afterwards, because they don't like the truth. Why did Christians try to abolish the slave trade? Because our example is Jesus Christ, and Jesus Christ, in a time when slavery was normal, never had a slave, never bought a slave, and never sold a slave.
The day Nigerians put their house in order, the only problem with Nigerians, they all want to japa. You know what is japa? No. They call it japa, run away. They are all, yes. Everybody's like, I was seeing in some post somewhere on Twitter, or whatever, X now. They are all like, oh, how can we, which is a new country, where are the visa regulations less? That's all Nigerians think about. Where are they going to Japan to run away? So if the day Nigeria puts his house in order and starts becoming a powerhouse, that's the only time black people everywhere in the world will be respected. And it's true. Because this is the highest population also of black people. The next high population of black people is in Brazil. But if Nigeria can put its house in order, people will start respecting black people. You'll see people being told, if you're African, your visa, you can come in 3 months without a visa, like other countries. That's what happened to India and China. Once they started, making the economic moves and but if we continue the way we are, nobody cares. That's why Trump can threaten even Nigeria. What will you do?
Now, let's talk about the president. How many times did he steal for country? How many times? This one don't be say very dark man want insult or you want talk. No, but ask yourself, how many times President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did in Nigeria? Is he fit to still be our president? These are the questions. He went to Turkey. He fell down. He's not fit physically anymore, based on what we saw. He did waka dey fall. How many times is he in Nigeria? We do Happy New Year. Our president know the country. Our president know the country. Check him now. And 2027 now you are campaigning. And you are saying that this person will do better. Do what? Do what? Think about it.
Dear my Yoruba brothers and sisters, Southwesterners of Nigeria, what is happening? What is happening? I remember I made a video and I warned. And I said that prior to Buhari becoming president in 2015, that the Northeast was relatively peaceful. We just had skirmish of problems here, like left and right. But Katsina as a state was one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria. The Northeast as a region was one of the peaceful regions in Nigeria, apart from religious intolerance that was happening. Then Buhari happened. Then the party of tears, blood and sorrow fell on that region. And as we speak today, even till Buhari passed on, he retired in Kaduna after spending a year plus in Katsina. It was not safe enough for him. He had to run to Kaduna where he passed on. Why am I saying this? Look at what's happening in the Southwest today. Traditional rulers are being eliminated. Under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's past 3 years, close to 5 traditional rulers have been eliminated. From Kwara to Ekiti, from Ekiti to Ondo, from Ondo to Oyo. How many states are left in the Southwest? Osun and Lagos. It don't finish, oh. Terrorism is now sleeping, living, dining in the Southwest. But you people are quiet because your brother is in power. You don't want to talk. The same template that the Northerners did in all through 8 years of Buhari. And right now, the North is now, majority of the people are living in IDP camps. It's the same format people want to implement because of Tinubu is in power. This man is actively watching the Southwest being eradicated by terrorists. And you people are saying nothing. I see no evil, I hear no evil, and I say no evil. In fact, some people are even saying that instead of an Igbo man to rule them, let the terrorists be eating them up in the Southwest. That's where we've gotten to today. And I'm saying this because I say this not like I'm indicting the whole Southwesterners. No, but the truth of the matter is that majority of Tinubu's support base that you see making noise on social media are from the Southwest. Does that mean the whole Southwest are with him? Apparently not.
Some terrorists are occupying part of Nigeria in Sokoto and Plateau State, as I talk to you now. 2 of us. Did nnamdi take away any part of Nigeria and say this is Biafran land when he was agitating? Tell me. Some people are occupying Nigerian territory, Nigerian land, as I talk to you today. Who are those people? Did nnamdi go that far?
But Riley Moore, U.S. House member, was in Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, and he visited Benue and Plateau.
Yes.
And when he went back, he said he saw over 600.
Exactly.
Exactly. Internally displaced people. Exactly. Now, since he went back to the United States, do you think that it's also on the table that the American government might say, look, Nigerian government, if you want to show sincerity, if you want to show intentionality in fighting this problem, these people must go back to their home.
Exactly.
No, I'm asking, do you think that...
It must. No, it's not a question of do you think. It must. It must for Nigeria to get back on its tracks. Because you cannot have your citizens living in IDP camp and then you go to bed every night and sleep and wake up. And you swore to protect them. You don't even need US to tell you this. You don't need US. So, are they going to live in IDP camp forever? No, tell me. The people of Benue and Plateau, are they going to live in IDP camp forever?
Barrister, you seem to be missing my point.
What is the point?
My point is, at this moment, those people are still in IDP camp. My direct question is, do you think that at some point it will be on the table on discussion between Nigerian government and US government?
I don't told you that, yes, it must. Do you need someone to tell you that? As a government, do you need someone to even tell you that? Let's be sincere here. These are your Nigerian citizens. And I ask you again, are they going to live in IDP camp forever? Would they go back to their home? Do you need anybody to tell you to go and do the needful? More so when the people occupying their villages and their homes are foreign terrorists. Please, what they did, is this for the good of Nigeria or for the bad of Nigeria? Don't tell me. If the idea came from them, the federal government should congratulate them because that is the national service they did. What the federal government could not do, IPOB members or Igbos invited Donald Trump to come and do it. So, why are they not attacking Donald Trump? If what he came to do here was not in the interest of Nigeria, why should they not own up? In fact, they should be praising themselves that they have done a national duty for Nigeria. IPOB members, when they accuse you of being responsible for Donald Trump coming, beat your chest and say, yes, we thank God we did it. Yes. That is what they refused to do. They now invited somebody who came to do it. And let me tell you, remember they have proscribed IPOB as a terrorist organization. So if actually they were terrorist organization, would Donald Trump have listened to them? All this is a shame on the federal government. A group they should recognize for who they are, what they represent. You are not demonizing them, vilifying them. But elsewhere, outside here, they are recognized. So if they accuse you that you are the one that brought Donald Trump, beat your chest and say, yes, we did it. And he came for the good of Nigeria. Okay. All right. Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly jailed. Seriously. His rights and everything was flagrantly disobeyed. The man who was so ebullient, who was so happy to go and kidnap Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya, is now facing the same thing that he accused Nnamdi Kanu of. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine this poetic irony in life? You can see. Whatever you sow, you reap. If somebody had told Malami that you go through this thing one day, he wouldn't have believed it. The very man who orchestrated Nnamdi Kanu's kidnap and all that, even when the court said he should go, that Nnamdi Kanu should, Malami insisted that Nnamdi Kanu must be brought back and face some spurious charges. The same thing EFCC did to them. When he left the court, they arrested him on the court immediately and took him back to prison. So that is how life is. So with all this development, the whole world can now see that Nnamdi Kanu was wrongly jailed. All the things he was saying, nobody said that it is wrong or no, it's not true, it's not happening, no. Is it not the same thing that you are witnessing today? Imagine if the federal government had called these people, like they have been dialoguing with Toju Bello and other terrorists. If they had called IPOB, okay, come, my people, come, what is wrong? What are you people talking about? What happened? For a dialogue. Maybe this thing would have died down. They will now give them the assurances and all that. And maybe they will step down, like they did this protest yesterday. Did anybody die? Did they kill anybody? Were they carrying gun? That was exactly what they were doing. Before the federal government under Buhari started using gun to kill all of them.
Talking about the release of Nnamdi, recently, there's been this engagement, this collaboration between the U.S. government and Nigerian government security agencies. And before then, U.S. said before we backpedal, on our threat of having to take out these people, there are certain things that we need you to do. Exactly. And we understand that one of them was the release of Sunday Jackson, the farmer that was jailed by the Supreme Court in Adamawa. Is it Adamawa in Taraba, somewhere in the northeast? Yeah. And we saw him released. He was granted pardon and clemency. Do you think that release of Nnamdi Kanu might at some point come in the table?
He's already on the table.
Between the U.S. government and Nigerian authorities?
Okoro is already on the table.
How
Whether so? The U.S. will put the amount of federal, it's already on the table. Nnamdi Kanu must be released. No. Because it is obvious that that man was wrongly jailed. From these terrorists that are walking all over the place.
But I want us to be factual.
It's actually that it's on the table already. Okay, at a point, it will come up.
But for now, it hasn't come up.
It's already, discussions are going on.
Let's be very clear.
The government
at the point it will come up, or is already on the table.
Hold on, I told you now that discussion is going on behind closed doors. Okay. It's not something that will just wake up.
Between the U.S. government and Nigerian
No. Nigerian government and some Igbo leaders.
Okay. Yes. My direct question is, do you think that at some point, it might be on the table? U.S. will say, look, if you do this, we need you to do this.
I said it's already on the table.
Which table now?
Both Nigerian government and the U.S. government table is there. It's part of it because the Igbo leaders of thought and some other concerns are already talking about it, but it's behind closed doors. Until that discussion is concluded, we are still talking about it. We are still raising that issue. Because we are now seeing that, yes, from all indication, this man was wrongly jailed. The IPOB members, what they have been talking about, have now come to realization. Most Nigerians did not understand what these guys were up to before. All the things they said about Nigeria is what we are seeing today. The thing is that You cannot live in denial for too long. With this peaceful rally and all that, Donald Trump should be made aware of all these things. They should articulate all these things and then make sure that he gets the attention of Donald Trump, because in his first comment, as a U.S. president, that was when this thing happened. Okay. And now he has come back, and the issues are still there, and these guys are being persecuted. So Donald Trump should be made aware. And the Nigerian states, in fact, I should say that it is a shame on them, because what these guys stood for, what they have been talking about, is what the same Donald Trump have come to address in Nigeria. You can imagine. Eh? Is it not irony that the same man they were commemorating his inauguration and all that is the person that have come to save Nigeria? Eh? So on that score, the Nigerian state should carry the shame and recognize these guys for what they were talking about. Okay. If they had listened to them, maybe Donald Trump would have come. Okay, now. The earlier APC government take away political sentiment out of this matter, the better. Because even if APC leaves office tomorrow, the next government will inherit this problem. So the earlier they release Nnamdi Kanu, the better. Let them stop all the political sentiment that within Nnamdi Kanu's release, we will not have our way in the Southeast. He will be dominating the... Those things are lost. They are secondary. The important thing is that Biafra land or whatever, or IPOB, is in the mind of the Igbos as I talk to you today. These other people that have done worse since Mr. Okoro, what have you done to them? That is the first question. What Nnamdi Kanu was doing and what the people have done so far? Which one is better? It was the appearance of these people that made Donald Trump to come and bomb Nigeria. Didn't Nnamdi Kanu invite Donald Trump to come and bomb Nigeria? So you should be considerate in whatever you are doing. That is what I'm saying here. These people have done worse things that everybody can see. Yet, they are being pampered. They are being behaving as if it is their right, you know. But Nnamdi Kanu was agitating for what? Self-determination. Is that not the cause of the matter? Did they ransack any village? Did they say that Muslims will convert to Christians before he can lay down his agitation? No! A simple matter that is not recognized by the United Nations. That is why no other country in the whole world have seen IPOB as a terrorist organization, except the Buhari government. So what does that tell you? That is where injustice comes in. You pamper your people who have been killing and maiming and destroying people's land and property. You pamper them, you cover them. But one young man who said, no, what you are doing to us is not good. We want self-determination. You now judge him. Is that fair? Okay, all right. No country in the whole world has seen IPOB as a terrorist organization. Now, it is an embarrassment on the part of the federal government that a group they proscribed is now influencing a whole world power to carry out action in Nigeria. A very big embarrassment. They shouldn't even say this. If they have wisdom and intelligence, they should not say this thing. This is a group we proscribe. So how is America listening to them? And to come to it, what Donald Trump came to Nigeria, is this for our own good or for our own bad? The man came to help us to do something nobody could have done in the last 15 years. Please, is it a bad omen for Nigeria? That is the question. Because I know that if Donald Trump did not do what he did, maybe what you are seeing today wouldn't have happened. Because all of a sudden, the federal government have woken up against the terrorists. Is that not true? There are activities now against them. So who made it possible? When people want to talk, please let them reason. Let them reason. Those people who want to reason before you talk. If I thought it was IPOB that did it, what they did, is it for the good of Nigeria and the federal government or not? And so, if it is for them, why is it that the federal government is not challenging Donald Trump? Say, why did you bomb Nigeria? Who told you to come? That is how to start, and not to be talking anyhow. So I should sit down here and condemn IPOB. If I thought they are the one that did it, what they did, is it for the good of Nigeria? That is the first question. If you answer that question, you can go ahead and talk. By the way, if you have done the needful, will Donald Trump come in? If you have done what you're supposed to do as a federal government to protect life and property, will anybody even enter Nigeria? both terrorists and Donald Trump, will they enter Nigeria? So please, when they want to talk, let them reason before they talk, so that some of us will not interrogate it. That's what I'm saying here.
So guys, there have been a whole lot of reactions as regards to what's happening in this country, guys. Now the Islamic Council is telling the US that no power on earth can make them get rid of the Sharia law, guys. It is becoming clearer that all the things that Nnamdi Kanu said, you know, are really what is playing out now. The country has been Islamized. Now let's see some of the reactions. It says it's not because America demands. No, it's the Sharia law is totally illegal in Nigeria. Anyone practicing Sharia in the geographical space called Nigeria is committing a grave treasonous crime. If you want Sharia, you must organize a referendum. You must ask for the mandate of the people. You can't introduce Sharia through any back door, guys. And gradually they are making Sharia for everybody. And this means human rights are trampled in the name of religion. Sharia and blasphemy laws violate freedom of expression and belief. Nigeria constitution and international law demand equality, not theocratic imposition. And then this other person here, Sharia law is illegal. It's not because of America. It was illegally smuggled into the already illegal constitution. If once Sharia law in the constitution go through the normal legal process, organize a referendum, write a brand new constitution, with everything must be written black and white, nothing must be omitted, nothing must be forgotten. If the people rectify the constitution, says yes, we want Sharia, then it becomes automatically part of the constitution. It becomes a legal law in Nigeria. But if tiny alien terrorist Futa Jalo can't migrate there to start smuggling Sharia through the back door into already illegal constitution, so guys, I don't know how we even got here. I don't know. This person here said they will have a full Sharia state soon. US, please come to our help from these terrorists who pretend to be religious leaders, from people who brought nothing but death and backwardness to the nation, yet still call the short unbelievers. So guys, this is what Nigerians are saying. A whole lot is happening in Nigeria today. Tinubu does not even have the audacity, you know. Tinubu does not have the audacity of what is happening. To stop what is happening, Tinubu cannot. We have the right to live without you. Separate yourselves from this evil practice so you can practice your Sharia to full satisfaction. Law that cannot cut off the hand of criminal politicians who steal the money meant for education, healthcare, and pulling people out of poverty, but only focuses on destroying the poor. Is that one law? Honestly, it's not. Those 12 states practicing Sharia and won't let go of Sharia should be carved out of Nigeria. Simple solution. No power should, not even northern Nigeria, can stop Nigeria disintegration from blood-sucking demons of Islamic sect, all in the name of one fucking Muhammad and Islam. And this other person here say, we need to go after those sponsoring the Sharia and blasphemy law. Let them all be brought to book now. They are the ones causing unrest in the country. I think this makes sense, you know. But they cannot only divide it, they will split it before your eyes, and you will not do anything. And this person here say, it is too early to procrastinate. Let's keep watch and know what the world takes, what this would take us. Keep talking. That's what will make it happen faster than you think. Another person is, why the world debates human rights? Some parts of Nigeria insist on enforcing Sharia and blasphemy law, regardless of outside pressure. Secular economy, more like a freedom, is now negotiable. Divide Nigeria and save Christians. So guys, these are reactions from Nigerians as regards to the blasphemy law in Nigeria. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.